Yeah, I think the way we think about it is we now are at a very interesting point with a lot of the 5G rollouts done. 6G, there is time to get to that, and this opens up a very important window of opportunity for the service providers to very carefully start working their way towards cloudification, cloud transformation of their network. And the reasons are simple. It gets them much better economies of cloud, it gets them to much better levels of automation. It gives their networks much more agility. There are things they're thinking about, from exposing network APIs for application developers to come in, introduce different applications. It sets the foundation for that. But last but not the least, is it starts to pave the way for them to really adopt and take benefits of AI, machine learning, generative AI on their networks. So as far as the cloud transformation is concerned, our view is I would say a lot of the telcos have already been on this journey for a while, but those who have not initiated, it's absolutely, we believe it's the future, and to get this transformation right is absolutely important. The second thing I would say is, in some of the, to your question around core, some of the operators who've done, whether it was with NFV, virtualization, or now more with containerization and cloud native adoption of the 5G core or 5G SA core, one of the challenges has been is implementing and deploying them in silos. And that again limits the benefits in terms of the economies of the cloud, the agility, improving infrastructure utilization, and more, because they almost end up as siloed implementation. So the other thing I would say is, our view is that it's very important to think about cloud as a horizontal platform, delivering all the right capabilities from OSS, BSS to core to edge to radio access network, end to end. And the workloads, obviously in the network core or RAN, are telco network workloads, but a lot of the workloads on the edge are going to be IT-like workloads. So getting that horizontal cloud infrastructure right is absolutely, in our view, necessary. And this is what our focus is, to really bring the right kind of products and solutions with our partners to really enable this open, disaggregated telecom ecosystem, building the right cloud native infrastructure, and then supporting the telcos and accelerating their cloud native journeys, working with a lot of partners to do what we call a certified and validated designs with partners, so workloads in our open telecom ecosystem lab, and make it easier for the service providers to adopt this open cloud native disaggregated ecosystem. I would say dramatically. Exactly to your point, when this NFV journeys happen, many of the telcos would reach out to us and ask for, hey, give us a server, and we're like, okay, here is a server. And it's not about the server. What they really needed is solutions that give them cloud native infrastructure with a lot of automation, because it's one thing to deploy infrastructure 30,000 of the same things in a data center versus one thing 30,000 times out and about in a network. So it's very, very different. That means it needed a lot of automation around it. So these have been a lot of our focus areas. We went and worked with our partners like Wind River and Red Hat to create infrastructure blocks. These are fully validated solutions with their CAS layer, Dell infrastructure, all pre-integrated, factory integrated, delivering now to the telcos with a unified support model. So that's a big change. We've then added our Dell Telecom Infrastructure Automation Suite, which is all about automating the life cycle, day zero, day one, day two, life cycle management of that infrastructure. So there are all these things that we've been doing. And then we put in place Open Telecom Ecosystem Lab. These are all driven by the requirements that we are seeing from the telcos to say, again, we need to get these workloads certified, validated, so that again it becomes easier to consume and deploy these in the telecom network. So. Great question. So, what's the difference between the core and the radio access? Let's talk about that. When you're talking about core, that infrastructure is sitting in nice data center-like facilities with all the cooling and requirements that you would have to house that kind of infrastructure. When you're talking about radio access network, that's out and about, getting deployed. So, number of constraints, shorter depth, form factors, NEPS compliance, extended temperature ranges in which these infrastructures have to operate, operationally need to be efficient, etc. So one of the things again that we have done is extended our server portfolio with solutions like XR8000, designed grounds up for Open RAN, virtualized RAN, and edge workloads. Sled-based design, shorter form factor, obviously supports extended temperature ranges, NEPS compliance. So once you even deploy, now it gives the operators the path to have the benefits of merchant silicon COTS platform, cloud native architecture, and yet with sled-based design gives the serviceability, upgradability, puts them on a path where they can really start to take the advantage of the Moore's law as the silicon architectures continue to improve. So yes, what we have done and what we have built for core is different than what we are now bringing to the operators for RAN and edge workloads. And the XR8000 is clearly one of the solutions that we have developed grounds up for that. Yeah, I think we think about it as AI in the network, AI on the network. And the way I would parse it is AI in the network is about, again, delivering better performance and improving the network performance, improving energy efficiency on the networks, improving operations. So all the life cycle from planning, design, deployment to troubleshooting, optimization, all those areas in the network and life cycle of the network are definitely going to be transformed with AI. And we know, and we are working with some of the leading service providers who are actually much further along in this journey, honestly, but there are a handful of those. Most of the market, I would say, is getting initiated on this. So that to me is AI in the network. And then when I say AI on the network, that is more around edge and the telco edge, because bringing AI to the data and closer to where the data is getting generated, and most of the data is going to be generated on the edge, and that especially creates the opportunity for inferencing on the edge. So we also are in discussions with a number of operators. Some are already in there, strategically thinking about it. What does that mean? How are they going to implement it, and what kind of opportunity does that create for them? But that to us is clearly an area of opportunity, and that's going to build up as AI continues to proliferate not only within the telcos but other industry verticals as well.